Hey guys, welcome in the park again, where I am going live today again, much more energetic than a few weeks back. And that is not only because I just feel better, but also because this is an interesting episode, a celebratory episode to be complete. Because my challenge to myself was to go live on Instagram for 4 weeks on Monday for Summer Self Monday Live in the month of June. And so now today it's July 2nd and I am here again, which means that I actually liked these live videos quite a bit. And I really, it makes me much more engaged on social media. It makes me think about a certain concept and wanting to talk to you about it, which is it's really a lot of fun. And so I've decided to go on with it for as long as I think it's interesting. Okay, so today is going to be about a concept, the concept of being. And the reason for that is that I feel being is really, really underestimated, underappreciated. In our day-to-day life, in our society, we focus almost entirely, or for at least for a really large part, on not on being, but on doing. Even in the way that we speak to each other, right? So, how are you doing? What are you up to? All these phrases that we say to people that we really love and really know quite well, still it's only focused on their doing and not on their being. And I think that's a pity, because really there's so much being in doing something impactful in the world. And I want to explain that to you, because that may sound a little bit weird, and so that calls for a little bit of explanation, I think. So the reason I say that there's a lot of being in doing something impactful is that when you want to create something meaningful in the world, you want to do something that inspires or has a positive impact on many people, except for yourself, outside of yourself, that can only be something really great when your entire system is behind it, so to say. So when your beliefs, your entire personality, when your energy, when everything is lined up for you to create that certain thing, then and I believe only then can you create something that is really impactful. So when you think about it that way, if you want to do something good in the world, you really have to focus quite some intention before that to building up your being, the way that you are, the way that you are connected to yourself, the way that you are, the way that your energy is, so to say. It's related a little bit to presence, something that he talks about a few weeks back. Maybe for some of you that have been in leadership positions, it sounds familiar when I say that. For example, leadership is a really good example of a situation where people be more than they do. And I know this sounds a little bit weird, and some people may don't believe me immediately, but really, when you look at leadership, the most important thing about it is not what you do, but the fact that you're there for people. The fact that you, especially this is especially true when you're leading a team of highly educated, smart people that know a lot about the content that you're working on. And in those situations, it's just really important that you're there to listen to them, to spar with them, to give them some feedback now and then, to listen to their ideas and give your opinion about that. That's not much more than just being present for them. It's about holding space. So leadership is a really great example of a situation where being how you are is actually more important than what you actually do. So going back to that being inside the doing, and how important it is to build the way that you are before you can create something really impactful in the world. I wanted to share with you a question that I sometimes ask my clients when they tell me about a difficult situation that they're in or a difficult relationship that they're in. And I always ask them, so have you considered how you want to be in relation to this person, or how you want to be in relation to this challenge or this situation that you're in? And it's I wanted to say shocking, but that may not be very kind. But it is surprising how hard this question is to answer. So how do we want to be? While at the same time, we never think about, or we hardly ever think about situations like a question like that. So how do you want to be in relation to this challenge? But if you do think about that, really interesting answers come up. Because if you consider how you want to be in relation to a challenge, you may want to say something like, I want to be calm, I want to be in the flow, I want to be open to the best possible outcome, I want to be open to other people's opinions, and that is very different energy that you bring to that situation, that problem, than when you say, I want it to be solved, or I want to come up with the best possible solution. And this sort of doing energy allows for much less interaction with the other person, and thus creates less flow and less open communication to begin with. Thus, the outcome is more likely to be something that is pressed from one of the two sides than when we are very open and aware of just being in a situation. So yeah, that's I think that's a really important question, and I would like to challenge you a little bit by asking you to consider that question when you are in a difficult situation, or even when your toddler has a tantrum, or when your partner didn't do the dishes while he or she promised that he or she would. How do you want to be in a situation like that? How do you want to be in relation to that person? Do you want to be mad, or do you just want to be present, or engaging, or open, or whatever you feel it in? And I would like to know how you get on with that, how it changes your perspective on situations. Because being aware of how our being influences the outcome of situations really gives us back ownership and even control, or influence. Even when challenges seem to be out of our control or seem to be overwhelming, by considering how you want to be, that is something that you can really, really control, even though the outcome may be uncertain and may be something that you are not the only one that influences it, and thus you are not the only one that can make sure how it ends up. Your being is something that you can control completely. And so it gives you back power, and that, I think, is a really valuable thing. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I see you next week. Bye.